Hi, I am Mrs. Santamaria, the Guidance Coordinator at High School East. Thank you for joining us tonight. Having a daughter in college and a son who is in 11th grade, I know the importance of having a smooth transition from middle school to high school. We want students to be happy, make friends, be involved, get good grades, etc. But we also know that that transition is not always a smooth one. We have to let students know that it's okay to struggle. We want our students to be in a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. Students grow from challenges and they shouldn't let setbacks stop them from growing. Studies show that students with a growth mindset are more motivated and engaged even when the work is challenging. Students should take time to reflect and learn from their successes and mistakes. How can a student have a growth mindset? They can step outside of their comfort zone, which is not easy even for us adults, learn and grow from setbacks, always try their best, which looks different for everyone, have a positive attitude, and accept criticism. It's important to not rush the process. Developing a growth mindset is a lifelong journey. Students can communicate with their parents, their teachers, a mentor, and even their friends. It's also a good idea to get involved. We hope that the information we share with you tonight will ease your concerns and answer some of your questions. On Monday, February 3rd, the High School East counselors will be visiting the classes at Intermediate East to discuss course offerings, tracks or levels, and what life is like at High School East. In late March, the High School East counselors will meet with the students again and sit down with them one-on-one to review the courses that they have selected for the upcoming school year. To help the counselors determine if the appropriate courses and tracks have been selected, they will use current report card, test scores, and teacher recommendations to make sure your child is placed appropriately. If the counselor is not in agreement with the courses or tracks selected, your child will be given a course change form to take home. Earlier tonight, you met some of our administrators, Mrs. Anders, who's our principal, and Mr. Smith, who is the vice principal for grade 9, and he's also in charge of sophomores with the last names Q through Z. Mrs. Hines is our principal for grade 12 and sophomores with the last name A through F, and she's also the vice principal for the STEAM Academy. Any STEAM-related questions can be directed to Mrs. Hines. Mr. LaBarca is our vice principal for juniors, and he's also in charge of the sophomores with the last names G through P. Mrs. Lucy is our supervisor of instruction, and Mr. Gillen is our district athletic director. Our counselors are here tonight, and you will have the opportunity to speak with them later tonight and have them answer any questions you may have. Students are assigned alphabetically by the student's last name, and they will remain with the same counselor for all 4 years that they're at High School East. Mrs. Calhoun starts the alphabet with students' last name A through C-O. Mrs. Millard follows with students who have the last name C-R through H-A-N. Mrs. Lulias has the middle of the alphabet, H-A-O through M-C, followed by Miss Bush with the last name M-E through R-O, and Mrs. Weinberger has the end of the alphabet R-P through Z. At High School East, counselors wear a lot of hats. We help with academics. We can point students towards tutoring if they need help, for example, like the National Honor Society and the Writing Center. We help with college and university searches. We do have a college and career website, more on that later. We offer counseling, academic, social, and personal, and we also refer to community resources, and we also have school-based counseling. Employment, we have a job board in the guidance office and also an Instagram page. Financial aid, we offer workshops for parents and students. For example, we have a district financial aid workshop in October, and we have FAFSA support sessions throughout the year. The military, we do set up tables outside of the cafeteria during lunch, and once a month military personnel come in and students can speak with them if they are interested. Scholarships, all scholarships are available online to our seniors, and our senior scholarship night is at the end of May. We have volunteer opportunities. Ms. Bush has a website that lists all the school and community opportunities. In addition to the many hats the counselors wear, we also have a lot of school spirit. Not to brag, but 3 out of the last 4 years, the guidance department has won the best dressed department for Halloween. This past Halloween, we won for the Addams family. You can tell we have a lot of school spirit. In 2023, we were the best dressed department for 1980s prom. 2022, we didn't win, but we did win in 2021 for Jurassic Park. These are the graduation requirements for the class of 2029. There are course requirements, credit requirements, and an assessment requirement. Every student needs 4 years of English, 4 years of phys ed, 3 years of math, 3 years of science, 3 years of social studies. 1 has to be world civilization, and 2 years have to be U.S. history. 1 year of a world language, whether it's Spanish, French, or German. 1 year of a performing art. 1 year of a career. Half a year of personal finance. Pass the assessment, the NJGPA. They must pass it in English and in math. Earn a total of 120 credits, that is the absolute minimum, and then have a good attendance record. Students may not exceed the number of absences allowed by the state. I also put in there the link for the Code of Conduct, which will lead you to the TR Schools webpage, and you can look at it for the 24-25 school year. Scheduling for the class of 2029, every student will have an 8-period day. With the exception of lunch, every class on your child's schedule will be a graduation requirement. Each period is 43 minutes long. A full year class equals 5 credits, and a half-year course equals 2.5 credits. If a student takes 7 classes every year for the next 4 years, they have the opportunity to earn 140 credits, which is more than the minimum required to graduate, which is 120. At High School East, we have 5 tracks: AP, Advanced Honors, Honors, College Prep, and General Studies. Freshman year, there are 2 tracks available to students: Honors and College Prep. At the Honors level, these are students who are meeting or exceeding grade level standards. They are expected to meet the demands of this accelerated level. Students in College Prep, these are students who are able to meet grade level standards. It helps further the student's preparation for college, and they are expected to meet the course requirements. General Studies is not offered till sophomore year, but students who are in General Studies get additional support. They're not yet meeting grade level standards, but the goal for students in General Studies is to eventually advance to College Prep. At the high school level, students may mix tracks or levels. It is recommended that any student who is thinking about going to a 4-year school immediately after high school or playing for a D1 or D2 college should be at least at the College Prep level. If the student wants to start with a more advanced class and at some point realizes that it's too much for them, they do have an opportunity to drop down a level. The deadline to change tracks is usually halfway through the school year, usually at the end of the second marking period. But with that being said, please keep in mind that due to staffing challenges, there may be limited movement to change classes. Now, with that being said, in addition to the difference in rigor, there's also a difference in point value given to final grades, and you'll see this in the next chart. Every final grade is given a point value. The higher level courses have a higher value. Now, this page is also in our course selection guide, which is available on our district curriculum webpage. Some of our courses have prerequisites. There's an academic requirement that must be satisfied before taking a course. That requirement could be a certain course, a final grade, or a teacher recommendation, or it could be a combination of more than one. The prerequisites are listed in our course selection guide. Lunch. Lunch is usually one of the students' favorite courses. We do offer lunch for freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, periods 4, 5, and 6, and the lunches are mixed grade levels. Students may not leave school grounds, and that's for safety reasons. But students do not need to remain in the cafeteria if they do not want to. Some of the opportunities that they have during lunch is the student has the option to meet with the teacher if it's arranged ahead of time with the teacher. They can go to the media center to work on assignments with peers, or even eat lunch upstairs if they want a quieter or less crowded environment. Here's some pictures of our section where students can work together in the media center and even eat. Gym, phys ed. Phys ed is required for every year that a student is enrolled in school. Freshmen have health second marking period. Driver's theory is offered to every student in grade 10 in its first marking period. There is no need to sign up for driver's theory. It will automatically be given to each sophomore. English. Every student needs to take 4 years to meet the graduation requirement. Freshman year, we have 2 tracks. We have the honors track. They need to have a B as a final grade in 8th grade English. If they do not have a B as a final grade in 8th grade English, they will be moved down to college prep. Sophomore year, students will have the opportunity to go to advanced honors if they desire, and junior and senior year, they will have the opportunity to take AP classes if they wish. Social studies. In order to meet graduation requirements, students need 3 years of social studies. 1 year has to be world history and 2 years has to be United States history. Freshman year, there are 2 tracks, honors and college prep. And just like English, come sophomore year, advanced honors will be available and AP will be available junior year. But there are prerequisites that the student needs to meet. For math, for graduation, students need to take 3 years of a math. We do recommend 4 years for students who are going to attend a 2 or 4-year college. The reason why we recommend 4 years is because of the placement test. And this is regardless if they're going to OCC or a 4-year school. Most of our students take Algebra 1 and there are 2 tracks, Algebra 1 Honors and Algebra 1 CP. Students who want to go into the honors level, you need to have a B+ as a final grade in 8th grade math. We do offer geometry honors for students who are currently in Algebra 1 and complete the entire Algebra 1 curriculum in 8th grade and have at least a C or better. Students who are currently in geometry as 8th graders have the option to take Algebra 2 honors. I do want to mention that in Genesis, Algebra 2 will not be an option for you to choose. When the student meets with the counselor in March, they should tell their counselor that they want to enroll in Algebra 2 honors, and the counselor will make the change in Genesis. Science, 3 years as a graduation requirement. We do recommend we recommend 4 years for students who want to attend a 4-year college. Most of our students take environmental earth science at the honors and college prep level. And students who want to take biology, they must have a B+ in 8th grade algebra and a B+ in 8th grade math. 8th grade science. World language, for graduation, it needs to be 1 year. For students who are looking to go to college after graduation, we say they must take a minimum of 2 years, preferably 3. And it must be 3 of the same language. Colleges want to see that the student is committed to the same language, and that also shows continuity. There are 4 choices. We have French 1 honors or college prep, German 1 honors or college prep, Spanish 1 honors or college prep. Para los estudiantes quienes son hablantes nativos, ellos pueden tomar la clase de Heritage Spanish. For students who are native speakers and they can read, speak, write fluently, doesn't have to be perfect, they can take Heritage Spanish 1 with Mrs. Rodriguez. Our electives. There are 2 categories for our electives. There is the careers and the visual and performing arts. 1 year is required in each category. The student needs to take at least 1 year of a career. It could be a full year class or 2 half-year classes, and they need to take 1 year of an art. It could be a full year class or 2 half-year courses. We ask you that when you choose electives that the student is interested in, that it's something that they really want to take, and we ask you to prioritize it in Genesis. The reason we ask you to choose multiple electives is because upperclassmen have priority over the lowerclassmen in order to fulfill graduation requirements. There is no guarantee that the student will get their first choice, but we always try to give students what they want. No changes to electives will be made once the school year begins. For our career classes, these are the full year choices available to our 9th graders. Intro to Engineering Design. This course includes physical builds and technology applications related to machines and structures. Intro to Digital Design. It's a broad introduction to freehand drawing, mechanical drawing, and computer-assisted drafting and design, which is CAD. Marketing 1, and Principles of Law. Principles of Law is consumer law. It's not constitutional law. We also have our half-year courses, Accounting 1 and 2. They must take both, and please keep in mind this is a math-based course. Career Exploration, Creative Design Technology, Multimedia and Web Page Design, and Fashion Design Technology and Interior Design Technology. For the Visual and Performing Arts, our full-year courses are Band 1, which a student can also participate in marching band, which is offered after school and in the summer. Orchestra 1. Just keep in mind also that there are free in-person summer lessons, which is led by Mrs. Roselli, who's our orchestra teacher. Towards late spring, you should look on our website, and it will tell you there will be an application for the free in-summer lessons. And you need to complete the application, and Mrs. Roselli will reach out to you. And this is available for orchestra students in middle school and high school. Chorus 1, Studio Art 1, and Theater Arts. Our half-year courses are Exploring Music, History of Rock and Roll, Music of Broadway, and Music Technology. And please remember, if you're to pick half-year courses, we're asking you to please pick 2 music half-year courses and not to mix and match with the careers. Personal finance, there are 2 options. The student can take personal finance in school. This is available to grades 9, 10, 11, and 12, and it's offered semester 1 or semester 2, and the student will receive a letter grade at the end of the course, and it will be calculated into their GPA. The second option is option 2 online. It's available to grades 10, 11, and 12. It's only semester 1. It opens up in June as soon as school ends, and they have till mid-January to complete the course. Option 2 is an online course with no live instructor. This is for the motivated student who needs little supervision to complete the coursework. It is a pass-fail grade, and it does not get factored into the GPA. There is a pre-test, 37 modules, and a post-test, and each module must have a passing grade for the student to pass the entire course. Sports eligibility. As freshmen, every freshman that is able to play a fall sport with no academic requirement. There's only a physical requirement. Physicals are still needed. If the student wants to play a spring sport, the rules are a little different from the fall sports. Spring sports, students must take what is equivalent to 30 credits and pass the 30 credits in order to be eligible to play a spring sport, and this is evaluated after second marking period. Come sophomore year, rules are also different. They must pass a minimum of 30 credits from the previous school year to be eligible for fall and winter sports. I do recommend to get a physical in the summer. The nurses do not work every day in the summer, so it does take about 4 weeks from the time you drop off the physical, by the time it's received by the nurse, by the time it's been sent to the district doctor and back to us, to have your child clear to play sports. I don't want to stress you any further talking about college and careers, but I do want to point out that we have a college and career website that Mrs. Millard has built and maintains. It is a college and career website. At the bottom of the page, I've included a tiny URL and a QR code for easier access. This screenshot is a sample of what you can find on the site. And the reason I'm pointing this out now is because in addition to scholarship and college visits and community service opportunities, you can access the club list. You go down here, click on club list, and this is the club list for this school year, and it's constantly getting updated. But you can see there's the title, the name of the advisor, the description of it, and the Google Classroom that your child can join. Tom Sawyer Schools has a partnership with OCC, and this allows students to earn college credits and high school credits at the same time. It's called dual enrollment or early college. We currently offer 23 courses at a reduced tuition rate of $114 a credit. Most courses are 3 credits, but some are 4 or 6 credits depending on the course. Applications become available early fall. Counselors will post it on their Google Classroom, and we do offer for freshmen STEAM biology, biology honors, intro to computer science programming applications at the honors and CP level, marketing 1, and theater arts. In the beginning, I spoke about the differences between honors and CP in regards to expectations. This is the one course where not only are the expectations different, but so is the curriculum. If you notice that the honors level of the Intro to Computer Science and Programming class, not only does it cover Python, but it covers Python and C++ and goes into the concepts of programming. It also has a prereq of a B in Algebra 1 honors and geometry, which may be taken concurrently. Here are some things to keep in mind when choosing the courses for the next school year. Realize the importance of freshman year. Every grade counts. When you select a level, please keep in mind that the student should be challenged but academically successful. There is a certain expectation level for student performance. Course descriptions, especially for the electives, can be found in the course selection guide, and freshman orientation is in late August. We do ask that all the courses are submitted via parent portal by February 21st. This is the beginning of the instructions on how to request courses via parent portal. When the counselors go down to the middle school in February, they will give each student an instruction sheet to bring home, and it will be more detailed than what you see here. Also, if you scan the QR code, it gives you a copy of tonight's presentation, our club list for the 24-25 school year, the scheduling instructions that your child will receive on February 3rd, and again, all course requests are due into Parent Portal by February 21st, and also the link to our college and career resources. This is our contact information. Notice the counselor's Google Classroom. The students will be able to join the Google Classroom and find out about all the activities happening at High School East. I also gave you the name and email for the band director, the chorus director, the orchestra director, and to Mrs. Gold, who is our curriculum director but can answer any questions about world language, especially about Heritage Spanish and about the Fine Arts program. Thank you, and if you have any questions, please reach out to your middle school counselor or the high school counselors.